Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. So today my group will be presenting chapter 5 from discrete maths, application of logic in real life. So this is our team member. So the first team member is Adam Putra bin Agus Putra. The second one is Muhammad Al-Amin bin Muslaini. The third one is Muhammad Nazmi bin Muhammad Nazri. The fourth one is Muhammad Nur Amin bin Roslan. And the last one is me, Ismail Zain bin Amiruddin. So the introduction is, what is logic? Logic is fundamental of mathematics. It properly investigates the ideas of reasoning in order to verify the reliability of claims and conclusions. Using symbolic logic like and or, propositional logic handles simple ideas while adding variables and quantifiers for more complex formalizations. The importance of mathematical logic is obvious in both its theoretical basis. Its applications in computer science, AI, linguistics, and philosophy demonstrate how important it is to building dependable systems and promoting intellectual clarity across a range of subject areas.
Next, we go to the application of logic. Let's take a look at the example 1. Imagine getting a job offer. We always tend to discuss with ourselves beforehand. Should we accept it or reject it? If we accept it, we will have a stable income, but there is always a catch. We will have to take a long commute every day due to the office being a bit far from our home. However, rejecting it will give more time for our personal life. It's just that job offer don't come twice as easy to begin with. For example 2, in pursuit of improving his overall health and fitness, John employs logical reasoning to meticulously assess various diet and exercise plans, taking into account factors such as nutritional content, workout intensity, and personal preference. Applying this logic, John makes informed decisions on meal choices and workout regimens, ultimately selecting a balanced and tailored diet and exercise routine that seamlessly integrates with his lifestyle while aligning with his health goals.
Thank you. Okay, so how to answer this question? Sarah wanted to try investing. Sarah decided to thoroughly research market trends. Later on, she sought advice from a seasoned financial advisor. Sarah's research and financial advice culminated in the diversification of her investment portfolio. Little did she know that this strategic decision held the key to realizing her ultimate goal, achieving positive returns on her investments. Okay, after reading all the questions before, after reading the one question before, first, we need to declare the primitive propositions using the appropriate variables. So, as you can see, I'm setting PQRS as the variables, P as Sarah thoroughly researches market trends, and Q, Sarah seeks advice from a financial advisor, and R, Sarah diversifies the investment portfolio. And the last one, Sarah achieves positive returns on the investment. Okay. Then, after we have done all the appropriate variables and we choose for, we can either put A, B, C, D, but in this case I'm putting it as PQRS. So after that, enough chatting, we can say that second, we must also find the premises based on these variables. So what I found is P and Q implies R, and R implies S, and the last one, P implies S. After constructing all the symbolic expressions and knowing the premises, we can conclude using laws of logic. So in our case, premise 1, P and Q implies R is the premise 1, and the second premise is R implies S, and the last premise is, the third premise is the P implies S. Okay, using the law of syllogism, we can use premise 1 and premise 2 to make it into P and Q implies to S. And the last one, we use law of syllogism, which is and we use 3 and 4, so we will get P implies to S. So the conclusion, Sarah thoroughly researches market trend to achieve positive returns on the investment.
Yes. In our world of corporate and investment banking, and likely in yours too, commitment is the uncommon denominator. After all, nothing great was ever made by mistake.
And now I am going to explain about truth table. Since this question has 4 types of variables, so there will be 16 possible combinations. For P, we can write half true and half false, and for Q, we can write 4 true and 4 false in a row, 2 true and 2 false in a row for R, while alternative between true and false for S. So let's have a look at the first row of column P and column Q. We can see that first P is true and Q is true, so the answer is going to be true. And the next row, P is true and Q is true, so the answer is going to be true. And then the next row, P is true and Q is true, so the answer is still going to be true. And then we skip onto the 5th row where P is true but Q is false, so the answer is going to be false because one of them is false. So we can apply the same method to fill the rest of the truth table using the same method as we used before. So we move into the P and Q implication of R. For this one, you have to look at the R column because the answer is determined by the R. No matter if P and Q is true or false, but if R is false, then the answer is going to be false. But if R is true, then the answer is going to be true. So we have a look at the first row of the column P and Q and the column R. P and Q is true and R is true, so the answer is going to be true. And then the next row, P and Q is true and R is true, so the answer is true. And then the next row, P and Q is true but R is false, so the answer is false because R is false. Even though the P and Q is true, but because R is false, then the answer is going to be false. And then you can continue the rest of the rows using the same method. And then we skip to the P and Q implication of S. For this one, it involves the column of P and Q and the column of S, and N is determined by the answer of the column of S. So if S is true, then the answer is going to be true. If S is false, then the answer is going to be false. So we have a look at the column of P and Q and the column of S for the first row, where P and Q is true and S is true, so the answer is true. And then the next row, P and Q is true, but S is false, so the answer is going to be false, even though P and Q is true, because the answer for this column is determined by the answer of S column. And then we move to the next row, where P and Q is true and S is true, so the answer is going to be true. And then the next row, where P and Q is true but S is false, so the answer is false. And then the next column, where P and Q is false, but because S is true, then the answer is going to be true. Explanation truth table. The expression P and Q implication of S is a tautology because it evaluates to true for all possible combination of truth values for P, Q, R, and S. In every row of the truth table, the result in the last column is always true, making P and Q implication of S a tautology and valid.
Okay, so I'm gonna present about summary. Logic plays a pivotal and indispensable role in the intricate process of decision making, evident in various aspects of our daily life. Consider the scenario of contemplating a job offer, a situation where logical reasoning serves as a guiding compass. Applying this structured approach involves defining the problem at hand, meticulously gathering information about the job and personal priorities, identifying available options, and systematically evaluating the pros and cons of each choice. Through this methodical analysis, logical thinking enables a comprehensive consideration of potential consequences, ensuring decisions align with the personal values. It acts as a valuable tool for navigating the complexities of decision making, steering individuals away from impulsive choices, whether applied in practical decision making or scientific endeavors. Logical reasoning contributes to a more systematic and thoughtful approach, fostering favorable outcomes and informed results. And that's all from us. Thank you.